Alright, here is second part of story of Mr. Ham and his turnip predicament. Last time Mr. Ham was pregnant and he needed turnips, so Mrs. Ham made a deal with the turnip salesman to buy some turnips in exchange for the baby that Mr. Ham was going to be having. But Mr. Ham did not want to trade the baby for the turnips once the baby was born and the turnip salesman returned for the baby. So they needed to make a new deal. So that's your catch-up, and now we begin the story again. So Mr. Ham, he asked turnip salesman, I don't want to give you baby, and I don't want to give you turnips that will make me die, because you'll take them retroactively, or whatever word was you used last time. So maybe there is another price that I could pay you and have everything turn out really good. So turnip salesman, he says, well, I've been in turnip business for a long time, and to be honest, it's getting a bit boring, because they are nothing but turnips. You know, that's like not a really exciting job thing going on there. So perhaps it is time for me to branch out. Now, it just so happens that I have this spell that will give me endless supply of potatoes, because they are not a root vegetable, they are tubers, which is completely different from the turnip. It's more exciting. But for me to cast this spell and have endless supply of potatoes, I need the mystical golden potato. And Mr. Ham, he says, well, where do I find this mystical golden potato? And Mr. Turnip Salesman, he says, well, there is only one place for you to get the mystical golden potato. And Mr. Ham says, tell me where this thing is, I will bring it to you, and all will be good. You will have your potatoes, not turnips, because you're changing your ways, and I will have my baby and my wife. And my wife, she is a very lovely wife. Hello, she said. So Mr. Turnip Salesman says, alright, the only place that you will be able to find the mystical golden potato is from Leprechaun. Mr. Ham, he says, what is Leprechaun? Mr. Turnip Salesman says, well, Leprechaun is a magical folk, and they live only in one place. So, for you to get this mystical golden potato for me, you must travel all the way to Ireland. Mr. Ham, he says, well, I guess I could go to Ireland, like, you know, business is pretty good right now. I could afford a plane ticket. I could go there and leave my baby and my wife here to watch over things while I'm gone. So Mr. Ham, he travels all the way to Ireland. And when he gets there, he goes to a local town that is very Irish, and he asks around and he says, where do I find a leprechaun? And the people that he met there pointed him in the direction of the leprechaun catching store. So Mr. Ham goes to leprechaun catching store. He says, hello, I am looking to catch a leprechaun so I can steal his mystical golden potato. And Irish businessman in the shop, he says, oh, you're looking for the mystical golden potato, are you? Well, you've come to the right place, lad, because, well, we sell all manners of catching leprechauns here. Yeah, right. All kinds of traps and all that sort of thing. What size leprechaun were you looking for? Well, I did not know there was a size requirement for a leprechaun to have golden potato. Your input on this matter would be greatly appreciated. Mr. Irish leprechaun catching businessman, he says, well, if you want to catch a leprechaun with a mystical golden potato, then you'll have to catch one of the smaller ones. You see, for the larger ones, they don't bother with tubers. They're more into the squash, if you catch my meaning. So, you'll have to have one of these traps. Now, it's widely known that the leprechauns, the small ones, as it were, they love nothing more than bread,
covered in honey and parsley. So what you'll need to do is get yourself some bread and some honey and some parsley, and you put it in this trap right here.
The trap that he was presenting was a wooden box about a foot on each side. That is not metric, but that's okay because we're talking to a global audience. And it had a little pot in which to stick the bread and the honey and the parsley. So Mr. Kim, he goes outside and he goes to the marketplace where there is men selling bread, and he buys the bread, and then he goes and he gets some honey, which is wildflower honey. It's very good this time of year, and a few fresh sprigs of parsley. And then he goes back to the salesman of the leprechaun trap store, and he says, okay, I have bread, and I have honey, and I have parsley. So how do I catch this leprechaun with this box? And leprechaun trap salesman, he says,
well, the first thing that you do is you put the honey on the bread, then you stick the parsley to the honey so they don't fall apart. Then you stick it in this little pot here, and then you wait for it to stop raining.
Now, it is widely known in Ireland, but maybe not so much in Russia, where Mr. Kim is from, that it rains almost all the time in Ireland. Like, there's no stopping. It just rains and 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 rains. And then every once in a while, sun goes,
hello, how are ya?